We're in a car train. Let's go to the Swiss Alps. There's no one at the wheel. Oh, there he is. It's a little scary in here now. Come on, guy. I've got a helicopter to catch.
Travel to Switzerland, and an obvious thought will hit you. The country can feel too perfect. The cities, the watches, the cities with watches, the lakes, the mountains, Roger Federer, the ideal man. It's also well made, either by humans or by nature. It's almost boring. And it's true that there is a museum-like quality to Switzerland. It feels like they figured everything out, then stopped. But let me offer an alternative view. Because in Switzerland, you can also find the shock of the new and unexpected. The country aims a large portion of its considerable wealth at universities and research institutions. These places are doing fantastic work in fields like robotics, AI, and medicine. And Switzerland is also a country that welcomes immigrants, at least crazy smart immigrants, and helps them create startups from their research. Let's go meet one.
Wow. They are everywhere. Like if I did hit one, would it just try to get
like
back?
This?
Yeah. And it just finds its location again.
Yeah, exactly. The worst thing that could happen is that somehow the propeller hits your eyeball.
Yeah. Why did you say that?
On this show, we tend to feature people who are exceptional. But the man behind these drones is unusual, even among the exceptional.
My name is Raffaello D'Andrea. Everybody calls me Raf. I'm a professor at ETH Zurich, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Verity.
Raf is part math genius, part robotics pioneer, and part artist.
Oh yeah, you can actually give it a good shove.
Yep. It balances.
That's amazing.
And not only can it balance, it can actually rotate and balance at the same time.
No way.
It's very delicate what it does, so.
I'm scared to move.
The cube was cool, then he supersized it.
So this is the balancing cube.
And the goal here is for this to stay upright and balanced.
Exactly. It changes its position, so it changes the center of mass to compensate for movement.
So inside I'm seeing like motors and circuit boards.
There's motors, there's sensors, and actually what you don't see is that these are all communicating to each other.
Raf's talent for engineering has made him a very wealthy man. In 2003, he co-founded Kiva Systems, a robotics company specializing in warehouse automation. In 2012, Amazon acquired Kiva for almost $800 million.
For someone who's into so many things as you, it must have changed your life to have this Amazon buy the company, and then you get to chase whatever you want, really,
yeah,
right?
I think I've been fortunate that I've been able to do what I want to do. This is how we tested the first versions. Yeah, that's me right there.
Okay.
Raf discovered his passion early in life. He was born in Italy, then moved to Canada at 10, and quickly developed into a budding mad scientist.
I did some stupid things. I learned about pressure by jumping into a swimming pool with a hose in my mouth. I jumped off the roof of my house with an umbrella, a lawn umbrella, because I wanted it to be like a parachute.
Did you break anything on that?
No, I didn't.
No.
It was a Canada bungalow, only 10 feet.
Yeah.
But what a great way to learn something by actually putting yourself in the experiment.
He miraculously survived to adulthood, worked and taught in the United States, and then, for good reason, settled in Zurich.
I've heard Zurich is known as Drone Valley or something like that, or is that right?
Yeah, there is a lot of activity in autonomous systems in general. Switzerland is known for doing a lot of cool stuff with drones. When we started doing drone research in 2008, that was still kind of early days for drones. And there we were really aimed at pushing the boundary of autonomous flight. So we did a lot of crazy stuff with pole balancing and playing ping pong and a whole bunch of other fun things. It was a way to motivate the researchers. If we can make something that makes people go, wow, that's amazing, then we know we've pushed the boundary.
To commercialize his acrobatic drones, Raf started a new company called Verity in 2014. They made their artsy machines, and then oddly began chasing that sweet, sweet warehouse management money as well, hoping to replace fallible humans with a fully automated system.
People hate doing inventory control. It is a detested task. As a result, people don't do inventory nearly as often as they should, and they live with these errors. In a warehouse that has, $100 million of throughput, and there's a 3 or 4% error in that warehouse, that's a significant amount.
Sure.
To help fix some of the costly mistakes, Verity can send over some of its drones to work the night shift.
The drones fly when there's no one there. And then the system synchronizes with the warehouse management system and then creates a list of all the things that need to be fixed.
Raf showed me the aerial auditors in action.
It's doing these very fine adjustments to make sure that it's in the right spot of where it needs to be to take the image.
Verity's warehouse drones have been pretty successful, landing customers like IKEA and Samsung. They raised a $32 million funding round in early 2023, and these drones can do a lot more than scan QR codes.
Our entertainment business, it's less than 10% of what we do, but it's an important part of what we do. It's in our DNA, doing things when failure is not an option.
To Raf, whether he's flying his flock past 10,000 boxes of liquid soap or over the heads of 10,000 spellbound spectators, very little changes.
For me, the act of creation is what I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about technology, and specifically robotics and AI, is that whether it's art, whether it's industrial practice, whether it's research, it's all about taking something and making it do motion that hasn't been done before through mathematics. This is only 16. Can you imagine when you have 200 of them?
Yeah. I feel like I'm in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
It is magical. We take it for granted because we do it all the time, but it is amazing that intelligent monkeys can do this, right? Yeah.
It could be the case that crazy flying robots don't do it for you. I understand. Ish. And so I have prepared for you something more sci-fi, more medical, more epidermis. Welcome to Cutis, purveyors of the finest lab-grown human skin. Founder Daniela Marino is another immigrant turning Swiss R&D into a startup. She formed Cutis in 2017, hoping to transform the way we treat severe skin damage.
If I had a burn in an accident, what would be the standard thing that happens today?
So if you today get burned severely, so you lost quite a substantial amount of your skin, you are in danger of life, first thing. So you are admitted in very specialized burn units. When your body is ready and out of danger of risking your life, autografting starts. Autografting means that the surgeon takes skin from somewhere else, not burned on your body, and puts it on the wounds. If the wounds are very large, it is a clinical challenge to actually find enough skin. So what we do is trying to shift the paradigm towards saying, okay, give me a little piece from somewhere, and I take it to the lab, and I make it bigger and ship it to you back. We receive a piece of skin of the patient as small as a stem, and then we can extract the stem cells, expand them, and then recreate skin using a bioengineering technique.
When the skin is done growing, it looks something like this.
Delicious. This is both cool and slightly creepy, isn't it?
No. You haven't seen anything creepy for real in your life, then.
Like, how does this look different to the final product when it's
The final
skin?
one is a bit thicker, and it will be much more resistant because you have all the cells that keep it together.
I mean, the one major limiting factor, it seems right now, is the pigmentation in the skin. What's the plan for addressing that?
So at the moment, we don't have melanocytes in the culture, which means we are missing the cells that produce the melanin. And we are now having an add-on therapy to then simply transfer the melanocytes from somewhere colored to the white area and produce the melanin, which will match the color of the patient.
So far, Daniela and her team have treated 50 patients in clinical trials, including, in one case, a newborn.
So this is the youngest child ever treated with bioengineered skin, and you can imagine the growth of a kid 5 days old, and now 2.5 years later. I mean, the stretch is just humongous, and it's impressive to see the results.
If all goes well, Daniela wants to have her skin-growing machines set up around the world, not just limited to hospitals, but in oil rigs, commercial kitchens, and war zones. As ever with biotech, these things take time and lots of money. Luckily, Switzerland adores its science startups and lavishes them with resources.
You have a mixture of brain force here, which is incredible. And next to this innovative hub, you have a very strong startup ecosystem. So I don't know if I would have been that successful creating Cutis in my homeland, Italy, or somewhere else, because here you really are nurtured as a startup.
Yeah, because there's not that many countries, I think, where you could raise the amount of money it would take to a company that has to have a few years to get going because of all the clinical trials.
Sure,
and
long-term investment for sure.
Are not willing to kind of sit through that.
This is a very, very expensive journey. And there is no plan B. I mean, it has to be like that. So let's see. I hope I continue raising the money I need.
If she's able to bring the technology to market, it could impact millions upon millions of lives. I just hope that after my next adventure, I don't require her services.
We're flying straight into the mountain. It's scary.
Zurich is a lovely town. But this is Switzerland, and there are natural wonders to see. I'm told there's nothing like soaring around the Alps in a helicopter. However, dodging crags in a metal cage is somewhat, well, extremely terrifying. Mostly because I'm not a pilot, and I don't want to start learning at 13,000 feet. As it happens, however, I am that lucky tourist who knows a guy who can make all of my sightseeing dreams come true.
My name is Fabi Riesen. I have the pleasure to be the CEO of Loft Dynamics company. Basically, Loft is producing the world's first flight simulator training device using virtual reality technology.
Okay.
So it's kind of like...
Truthfully, I'm a bit of a flight simulator veteran. But even at the high-end training centers, pretend flying still has its limitations.
You go to NASA or something and you expect it to be space-agey and cutting edge, but the simulators always look like they were built in like the 1980s. I mean, it seems like technology that hasn't changed in a long time.
Yeah, those gigantic domes give you a very nice view, but the main challenge is everything outside is projected. So if you have two objects behind each other and you move the head, you kind of like see that they are moving against each other. On the dome projection, nothing happens. With virtual reality, this is basically not the case anymore, and it's like real from a visual point of view.
Fabi built his first VR simulator in his living room, earning himself the title of greatest dad of all time. He eventually upgraded to a real workshop.
Swiss quality.
Does this all gets made in Switzerland here?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
The simulators sell for under $1 million, way less than a traditional dome-type sim, which is good because the world needs a lot more of these things.
Let's talk about the pilot shortage a bit. I mean, it seems like there's not enough pilots, and then there's just a ton of training, both for new pilots and older pilots, right, to keep their skills up. Is that the general idea?
Yes. On one hand, it's quite expensive to use the real aircraft to do it. And on the other hand, the simulators are also expensive, and there are simply not enough simulators, so we are continuously below the actual need from the pilots.
The true test was giving one of these whirlybirds a whirl. Get to the chopper!
And we're gonna give you a bit of forward speed.
This is cool.
All right, I'll give you the control in 3, 2, 1. Your control.
Do I need to get higher to get?
Yeah, you need to get higher because you want to get over that hill. So keep pulling, keep pulling. That's good.
Oh boy. Whoa.
Okay.
What did I do?
I'm gonna take the controls. We haven't even started with the pedals.
Wait, what do the pedals actually do? Ooh.
You know what? Let's make him land the aircraft.
Well,
Okay, okay.
whoa.
You're gonna crash into the building, but you're going down really fast. Okay. Okay, now you managed to crash.
As far as I was concerned, I had officially graduated Swiss flight school.
I blame you.
Now it was time to try the real thing. So Fabi sent me on a 4-hour drive into the Alps. Destination, Zermatt, a charming mountain town where we could take off and cruise the skies together.
We're at Air Zermatt. The Matterhorn is just over there. I'm gonna meet up with Fabi, and I think he's getting here right now. You come in style, huh?
With a little help from ace pilot Julie,
Like that, good.
it was time to put my skills to the test.
You want to try a little bit of what is really slowly. Okay? Your control.
Ashlee, have you realized she's not holding anymore the control? It's fully your control.
Don't tell me that, please.
You're not breathing. You have to breathe. And you see, you're turning yourself.
Did I actually just do that, or did you help?
No, you did it.
No way. I don't like it when we get so close to the mountain, though. Then I get freaked out.
No problem. You can turn again to the left. I come with you now.
Okay, yes,
because
please.
we go just there.
Both exciting and terrifying at the same time. I actually flew. It was really cool.
Before heading home, Fabi insisted I meet his buddy Mario, a mysterious mountain man who's invested in some of the best tech startups in Switzerland, including Fabi's.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock on him.
Hey!
Come in.
Mario, how are you? Doing good?
Good to see you guys.
Hello. How are you,
Pleasure
man?
to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Warm welcome. Sit down. Beer, gin tonic. What do you like?
Mario had all the trappings of an eccentric free spirit, right down to his underground secret passageway and spa.
Watch your head here.
Okay.
First, this is the wellness area. And this is where I have the wine and spirits.
So, yeah. So that's the Matterhorn right out the window.
That's the Matterhorn right there. And of course, I know a lot of rich people and whatever, and they are impressed by the house. So they offer me tons of money for this house.
And what do you tell them?
I tell them not on sell and never on sell. This here is my house, and that's where my spirit is living and giving me opportunities to be creative.
Mario was born in Zermatt and has lived many lives. Restaurateur, hotelier, mountain climber, ski instructor, and eventually tech investor.
Stirring the fondue. I
Yes,
feel like now I get Swiss
the idea
citizenship.
If you manage to reach his fortress of solitude, he is a gracious host.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And,
So
thank
nice
you
meeting
so
you.
much.
Thanks for inviting us into your home.
Cheers,
It's very
Fabi.
kind of you. Appreciate it.
Merci vielmals.
Mario told me about some of the ventures he has in the works.
First, we make a carbon fiber out of algae.
Okay.
We reinforce this with stone.
And then he told me about them some more.
This is not rusty. It cannot. You can imagine what impact this is having on construction.
Yeah.
Also for the ski industry. My goal is now to build the house completely CO2 neutral, even negative. This would be sexy. Yeah, it has to be sexy.
So you've been to the North Pole, the South Pole. You've climbed the 8 highest peaks, right?
Traversing Everest. When I'm doing expeditions, I can calm down because I think one day I will be crazy. I'm enough crazy already, but
I feel like you calm down by doing more stuff.
yes, but it is running on high speed.
Yeah.
Because if
It seemed that Mario was a kind of spirit animal of the Swiss tech scene,
and with this I can
moving at hyperspeed,
and this is
embracing new ideas, flush with cash, and perched atop a majestic Alp. Bless this country. But this wasn't the end of my Swiss journey. It was time to trade in my helicopter for a bicycle and take a mind-expanding trip.